welcome to episode 188 of the DorkLair Collecting Podcast. We are going to talk Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Hot Toys, Mezco, Super 7, EXO-6 Star Trek, a whole bunch of stuff. We got a lot of news to talk about today. What's up, everybody? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, we got to talk about all the money I spent this past week. My God, I didn't have anything last week. And then this week, it was just a flood of stuff. It was a bunch of new studio series stuff, Bumblebee movie stuff. I got that Ratchet and Wheeljack. I just love those Cybertronian modes. I bought that premium Optimus Prime. Comes in the special slipcase cover. It's cool. A re-release. Oh, yeah, it was the Studio Series 2 from the Bumblebee movie that they did. I guess it's been a year and a half ago now, and it's so expensive on the secondary market. So they announced this thing, and a lot of times when they first release something, they're doing it from concept stuff. So the paint schemes may not be exactly right. So they updated the paint on these things, and they're just absolutely beautiful. So I'm looking forward to getting that open. I got a couple of, we're going to be talking about Super 7 stuff. I got a couple of the Thundercats in. I got Linkso and Pumra. The Vintage Collection Bib Fortuna. Dude, every single piece I get from this collection, little bitty 3 3/4 inch figure, it has no business looking as good as it looks, having the detail that it has, perfect paint apps, perfect costume. I mean, 8-year-old me would have done a backflip for this thing when the movie came out.
Yeah.
Still digging into that DC multiverse. McFarlane's still getting my money. They did a white variant of Azrael from the White Knight. Absolutely beautiful piece. And then I can't resist a Dark Knight Returns Batman. So I bought McFarlane's version of that, which is not as good as Mezco, or not Mezco.
Mafex.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not as good as Mafex, but it's still a good 23 figure. And then from Bill, I picked up a Figuarts C-3PO and R2-D2 to flesh out my different shelves, because since they're in every movie, you got to have multiples of those guys. So thank you for those, Bill. They arrived today. Or actually, I checked my mailbox today. They may have arrived before that.
Yep.
Nice. I got a couple things from the NECA Haulathon. This like Target promotion they've been doing the last couple of weeks. It's nice that like almost all the things I actually wanted were in the same week. I mean, it didn't really matter for shipping, but it's nice to get them all in one box. But got their like Mego style Elvira figure.
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, the sculpt's pretty good. Like, they got a unique body for her, so it's not like the kind of janky-ish a little bit some of their male bodies. So they, at least it's nice. They did one spray for her.
Mm-hmm.
The Evil Dead 1 Ash figure, and the Back to the Future 2 Griff from the future. So that was a pretty. They're all very good. I like them all. They're nice sculpts, nice paint. So
that was all really one Haulathon drop, or
yeah, that was like one, like I guess 2 Fridays ago or something. They put all the horror type stuff, I guess, together. I guess and Biff, but Griff, I mean.
Well, it's complimentary. I wonder if that's Laura. I don't know if that's Laura Jones, but I'm not sure. I knew that Laura Jones is usually on some of these things, but I'm not sure if that's who that is. But
thank you, I appreciate it.
Haulathon at my Target was Haula nothing.
Oh yeah, I didn't see. I hadn't seen anything in store. Like, there's not even the sign or empty shelves. There was nothing. I just got it online.
Yeah. So for me, no figures. I don't think I got a single figure in the mail in the last 2 weeks. But I did. I wanted to share something. So I got. So there was a sale on omnibus editions, or there was just a sale on in stock trades, and I got this is the Vader run, and I've read it on digital, but this is the Marvel Vader run that's written by Charles Soule, and it's like Purge era Vader, and it's got like Inquisitors, and it's like a super awesome build up for me, at least, like to kind of like hype myself up for Obi-Wan Kenobi coming up soon, because it's kind of like in that same era. So I did pick that up, and I mean that's really it. It's kind of like the only thing I've gotten in the mail lately.
What was the name of that site? Just is that like a good?
Oh, it's called In Stock Trades. They might have sold out.
When I was still buying physical books, I bought a ton of stuff from those guys. They're great.
They are awesome. Their shipping is cheap or free usually. And like new releases, even like that was a sale. Like there's $100 omnibus, but it was $50. But usually even like, so I've been buying the Conan omnibuses and they're usually 125 and they're I think on that site they're like 72 or something like that. You know?
Their markdowns are ridiculous. I mean, way back in the day when I got into The Walking Dead, and this was back in like 2011 or 12, I bought the first Walking Dead omnibus, and I remember I bought it through them because it was like 55% of what it was everywhere else.
Oh, wow.
And for like 2 or 3 years after that, anytime I would buy a physical collected edition of something, I was buying it from those guys.
Yeah. I should just find a way to subscribe because every like 3 months, whenever they put out one of those Conan ones, I just order it and it's right from them. This is one that would have hit for me if I had ordered it. I just passed completely on the Mezco 2099.
I did get that. I completely forgot.
Oh, okay, nice. Did you open it yet?
Yeah, I opened it. The legs looked fine. I actually went back and checked it because I never would have like noticed it halfway. I mean, but after seeing so many posts about incorrect legs in the suit, so I went and checked it. But that was fine. The webbing was fine. So.
Yeah. Are people having warped legs or are they like the wrong leg?
I think they're reading like they're getting like 2 left thighs or something like that. That's kind of the couple. I don't know if it's a couple people who are posting and then it gets shared elsewhere, or if it's very widespread.
Yeah. No, I've seen people trying to like heat them up and fix it or what, but yeah, if it's the wrong leg, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Let's see. Eric picked up Ilgar, Hagnon, and Black Knight. Nice. Ordered SH Figure Arts Boba Fett and Vintage Collection Archive Edition book. The vintage. Oh yeah, I didn't order that one, but I did do the Kickstarter for the Read 5 books. They keep posting. It's going to be out soon, but it's like it's a vintage Kenner guide. And it's like a big coffee table book. But I can't wait for that. It's going to be a cool book. All right. Okay, I think that's pretty good for recent pickups. And we're gonna get into the news because the slideshow took a little while to upload. It's a lot going on here. So let me switch some stuff up here and add this to the stream. Let's say hi to the audience. I know we've been putting up the comments, but Braku Prime, Edgardo De Jesus, T7 Nowhere, Trevor's here, 1-6 shooter, Cowabunga Dude, Hedgehog, Jonathan. Who else is in here? Laura, Fetmatic, Hassan, Eric. Welcome, everybody. Okay, we're going to pull up the other banner. Please subscribe. All right, let me get back to the comments here. Okay, so starting us off with Mythic Legions. The email went out, and I like reading the first sentence because it's like a tease. It says, the votes have been cast and counted, and the winners of this year's Mythic Legions All-Stars have been determined. And then they go on to explain that they're going to wait until July to reveal the winners because that's going to be the next pre-order. If you look at the wording, it says you have a few months to prepare after this Cosmic Legions pre-order closes, since our next planned pre-order and the reveal of the All-Stars winners will not happen until the end of July. So we get a nice little break for Mythic Legions. I think it's going to help people budget, like people who haven't placed their order for Cosmic. It gives you like some breathing room to budget. Here's an interesting question. Do you think Cosmic is not selling as hot as Mythic? No, I don't think Cosmic is selling as hot as Mythic. Cosmic is a brand new line. I don't think it's going to sell as good as Mythic just yet. It could eventually, but I don't think from the start it's going to be there just yet.
That's kind of how I've been feeling. I mean, for myself too. I mean, I'm not like army building or anything. I didn't go all in on the first wave either. So, but But this is kind of surprising. They were taking off like 2 months.
Yeah,
which is a long break.
Yeah, it's 3 months because it says the end of July. So this this cosmic thing ends May 1st, like the first weekend of May.
Weeks now.
And then you have all of May, all of June, all of July, and then you have the next pre-order. And a couple things that I was thinking about. One, like between in that window, the Alithia pre-order and the Deluxe Legion Builders pre-orders, both of those are scheduled to release in that window. They're both Q2, right? They haven't dropped yet. There's 2 months of Q2 in that range. If they drop somewhere in June, like that's the meat of that window.
Yeah,
so that's one thing. I think like those guys are going to be super busy shipping out 2 waves. They might be on the same ship. Like if it's kind of goes the way it sounds, those two waves might ship out at the same time. So I think there's that. I do think they are conscious of the budgets of the fans, and it might not be simply we need to try to pump the numbers of Cosmic by holding off on Legions for now. I think it's more they've heard fans that like complain, like rightly so, that they're getting flooded with pre-orders. I mean, we mentioned it last week. It's just like one after another is overwhelming and expensive. And I know that, and maybe this has no relation, but Chris, he's like the production manager and he does a lot of the shipping and stuff.
Yeah.
He's working on his own line of figures right now. It's like the Jesus figures. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I forget. I don't know if he has a name for it yet.
I think we talked about it one time. Yeah.
Yeah. And like he said he was going to at least a few months ago, he was planning to do it around Easter this year, which is in like 3 days. So like, if that's happening, if there's a Kickstarter for that, that might suck up some of his time. So he might have influenced them to maybe, and this is pure speculation on my part, like maybe that doesn't factor in at all, but like it could play a part. Like it could play a part in the way he can be available for all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think there could be a number of reasons why. Let's see what people are saying in the comments here. This news makes me happy because now I can get more Cosmic. Me too. I'm going to be able to put another order in and not feel like, oh man, I just, as soon as it ends, there's going to be another one, which is kind of what I was assuming.
Yeah, that's how it's been for a while, like, not too much longer. So I'm happy for that too. I haven't put in an order for this wave yet, but I'll probably just do one all in, maybe 2 if I want to like invest in a couple figures, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the all in is a bargain, and we're gonna get to that. We're not gonna do a ton on the Cosmic because I did an entire video and it's been like 2 weeks now, but everybody wants a human space character. Yeah, that makes sense. They're waiting for that, Space Marine, like standard kind of human.
Yeah, I've seen that comment a couple times.
Yeah.
What's up, Grail? So yeah, so there's that news. I'll tell you what I've ordered so far. So I originally ordered 2 Cosmic Wave 1 all-ins. And then recently I got contacted by somebody who was unloading an all-in. And so I got a third all-in for that.
The first wave?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So I have 3 all-ins for the first wave of Cosmic.
Nice.
I'm not going to, I don't think I'll keep them all, but there are figures I do want 3 of, and so what I'll do is I'll sell or trade the extras and stuff, and I'll have a lot of extras to do that with. But and then I went 2 all-ins right from the get-go. I went 2 all-ins on the second wave, and now I might do a third. Like the all-in for $200 is such a good deal.
Yeah, I agree. It's a nice, I like it's just a nice even number. There's 5 figures, and one of them's kind of the deluxe, but yeah, I would it doesn't seem like it's just not, it's a lot, it's smaller of a pill to swallow compared to the other all-ins usually.
Yeah, it was nice that they kept it small. So let's jump ahead. Actually, I did put up a little calendar. I like making calendars. So so we're in the midst of the Cosmic. That's pretty much the month of April. And then the end of July. So I would say the month of August will be whatever the next pre-order is, right? They usually run them for about a month, maybe 6 weeks. And then from there, I mean, as far as we know, there's Legions cause. Now, I would expect some kinds of all-ins. I also would expect, we saw with Krampus, different kind of pre-order, like a retailer pre-order, right? And we saw with the first Krampus, just a straight up drop, a new figure that drops. So we could potentially see something like that in one of these gaps. You get that May, June, July gap, and then you have that September, October gap. So you could see something happen. It just won't be a pre-order, Could be an in-stock sale for the Deluxe Legion builders, things like that. But yeah, so there's our little calendar. And I guess another thing on the calendar I should maybe mention is June 11th. They are going to Danbury, Connecticut. There's a new convention called, I forget what it's called. The Curiosity Store or something like that. It's basically a toy show in Danbury, Connecticut, which is actually a little closer to me. So I am going to go. And I know that the Four Horsemen are going to be set up there selling. They could, depending on timing, they could have Alithia and or the Deluxe Legion builders there. So we'll see about that. So that's on that calendar too. That's a June event, kind of right in the middle of, in between Cosmic and All Stars. Okay, so let's. I'm going to come back to Tribal Lands because we're kind of in the middle of talking about Cosmic right now. All right, so here's our wave. This is the only slide I put up. We're not going to dig into each character. If you want to do so and you want to hear my thoughts on each specific character, like in more detail, check out my video. I did a whole, reaction video for the wave. But we have Ias Sepetian. He's on a 1.0 style buck, but he's a tall, really tall. I think he's close to 8-inch tall, long character, classic gray alien type looking guy.
I assumed he was on a 2.0 just because of how thin.
I'm sorry, a 2.0. I meant to say.
He is that? Oh, okay.
2.0, yeah. But it's every piece is new. It's not reusing any 2.0 parts. It's just like compatible with the 2.0. And then Canox Vol is a brute scale. He's like a cyborg guy. Umbira Jimgira is 2.0, and she's got translucent parts. She's really interesting to me, and to me, she's the most Mythic Legions-esque of this whole wave. Yeah, and then Novian Lean is, a classic 1.0 sized figure that reuses some Mythic Legions parts, particularly the, sculpted cloth legs and stuff. But it's like he's from the same planet as Jimjira. They're from like this super hot, inhospitable planet that breeds like really like dangerous fighters. And then, so the Tusk, so this is what Chris was mentioning, the Deluxe Tusk, Sligore / Tusk Gravekeeper. It comes with one head that makes it this specific character, and then all these other heads and parts that make it this like Deluxe Legion builder type, Deluxe builder type thing. $60. Canox is 45, the others are 37. And so like the way they describe Sligore / the Gravekeeper is, this is like the Deluxe Barbarian. It's like the Deluxe Knight. It's like what those figures did for Mythic. This particular figure is going to do for Cosmic. It's going to be, a very loaded figure. A lot of people are upset that it's $60 for a builder and that the only way to get it is this way. I would expect, you know how they go. Like they're going to release a bare bones version eventually, or a different colorway. I mean, essentially they did release a different colorway with the Tusk, the other Tusk character, but very cool. And then there's a weapons pack, and I added it up and it comes to like 238 or 237 or something like that for everything. But an all-in is 200. So they're basically knocking the price of one of the standard figures off the top. And to me, that's an absolute bargain for this wave.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, I was just, I was like, oh yeah, the Canox and the Deluxe builders 107 by themselves. So
Yeah.
yeah, all the other stuff for the $100 is good.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting is the IS Superior, the alien guy. He doesn't have a gauntlet or a greave on one of his arms. It's actually just an arm.
Yeah.
Like they haven't. I don't know if they've done that for Mythic at all.
I think might be the first one. Yeah, they mentioned it, and I think he's only got one of those, and people are like, "Oh man, we can't wait for someone with two," and you know that's going to be coming.
I know, yeah. That it's not. It's like a small thing, but it's something I'm like. Every time I like playing with Mythics or switching them around, I'm like, I wish it didn't. It's just like it feels like it's always the same gauntlet type thing. Yeah. Like they use it a lot, so I'm hoping for their. Especially their shirtless figures, that's why I'm like I really want them to have like just their arms for Mythics, and these guys are too. But yeah.
Well, so that's a step in the right direction there.
Yeah.
So Baku Prime asks, have you thought about doing a reaction podcast after wave reveals? Yeah, I mean, like that one, I did a reaction video like the next morning. But yeah, I mean, doing a podcast where there's multiple people and it's like, we're set up to wait till like the minute it ends. That would be fun. It's tough to get set up for something like that in terms of having pictures ready and slideshows, but we could just screen share, have it be a little less like polished or whatever. Not that what we're doing now is super polished, but like it would be a little more rough than what we're doing now. But yeah, that's actually a great idea. The timing is tough. It's like I am super busy and it can be tough to like do that, but that would be a lot of fun. It's a lot of live streaming for an audience too, though, because they usually do like a couple hour live stream with a big reveal, and then you're going to jump in and watch my live stream, but it could be fun. Definitely. All right. So I'm going to go back here to the tribal lands. Wolf King Customs, just want to give a heads up. Our friends over there, Len is having an pre-order for a new brand, which is the Tribal Lands, which I think is pretty much Steve Bisciotti's like designs and creations, and then Len sculpts them and prints them and stuff. And then Steve does like prototype, or Steve does not prototypes, but painted ones, and there'll be like a very limited supply of painted heads of these. And as many, I think like kind of as many as you want, if you want to just order the unpainted ones and paint them yourself or commission someone. But these are the heads that'll be available. The one on the top has a removable bear hat. The one on the bottom right is like his eye. He has like an eye patch that's like a gemstone. It's like a gem or something like that. So you would paint that up like a gem. And the other guy's like a shaman or something. It's cool stuff. Like some really neat designs. Total
those
barbarian wave,
Very nice sculpts. Yeah, I mean, just all over very nice. Those are really impressive.
Yeah. So that's 3 p.m. on Saturday. If you're interested in those, the painted ones will probably go really quick. So if you're interested in picking up a painted piece, Steven's like really talented and very skilled, and their prices are usually pretty good. So I think those painted ones will go quick. But if you want to paint them yourself, those other ones will be pretty readily available. I wasn't able to pre-order Alithia at the time, hoping for in-stock. There will definitely be an in-stock sale. I can't remember a wave that they haven't done an in-stock sale for. The question is like, how quick can you be, and what do you want from it?
Yeah.
And are you going to be able to get it all? But there's usually a lot of opportunities for whether it's trading or sometimes like Empire Toy Shop will have some kind of a little bit of sale, and there's usually opportunities beyond that. It's just you got to kind of be really paying attention.
Yeah, I would stalk like Big Bad just to like if you're missing everything, you don't have anything, just put in orders for whatever, because some things are sold out, but whatever is available, put an order in, and then like stalk the pages of those other figures just to see if they'll come in. I have one actually I pre-ordered one of the horses, but I want to get another one. So that's kind of the only thing I'm personally looking for. But there's yeah, just keep your eyes open and see what you can do, and if you can grab one.
Yep. Yeah, and they are selling out, like on Big Bad Toy Store. That particular wave is selling out, but there's other retailers where you could grab them still. Definitely.
I keep forgetting to look at their list of retailers. Like they actually have it's like a lot more than I thought. I remember when they first posted it, I was like, I've never heard of half these stores.
Yeah, and like it's kind of to the point where you can shop around and be like, okay, that one's closest to me. I'll order from there, kind of support a local seller, and then get it kind of quicker usually, because you know when it ships, it'll come to you kind of quick because they're local. I've been getting some from One Stop Toy Shop, who's not on their list, but he is an official retailer, and then sometimes Empire and Mallfish, I think I've ordered from, and a few others. But there's a lot of great retailers. I know Legion, what are they called? What do they call themselves? Legion Shop. Yeah, Legion Shop sells them. My wife is going to kill me sells them. There's a lot of people who are official retailers too. I'm just checking out the chat here a little bit. Joe says there will be so Joe, who works for Four Horsemen, there will be an in-stock sale of Alithia, and it will pop up at shops, but only after pre-order. Every pre-order ships. Yeah, so that's that's not going to be for a while, of course.
Cool. Thanks, Joe.
What does it say? Our futuristic combat soldiers are humans with futuristic armor and weapons that will go great with any alien lines. Invincible Toys. They have a line of figures, I guess. Invincible Toys. Check them out. Okay. So I mean, going from Cosmic Legions to, I don't know, this guy, as far as I'm concerned, my Krigs are going with my Cosmic Legions. So we have the Murder Hornet that went up for sale yesterday, right? Murder Hornet. We've seen it. We saw it a while back in the comic. We saw the packaging months ago, maybe like in the fall or the summer. So we knew these guys were coming, but it was, it took quite a while to come out. We kind of flipped through the pictures. This was a $95, which is fairly standard, I think, like for their, Rumble figures. New helmet, right? Like
that's a very cool helmet.
I kind of didn't expect the different helmet when I saw the comic originally, and I'm sort of wondering if they ended up if maybe that's what took longer to put it out, but very cool. Some of the pictures show that picture. You can see like a little bit of honeycomb behind the mask, right?
Yeah.
Same head sculpt, like same clone, right? These are all clones. It's the same guy. There you can see the honeycomb, but the wings are new. The shield is new, and of course the new helmet. And I think that's it for the new stuff. I really like the Krigs. I'm a fan of them. I have the first 3, and I ordered this one as well.
Yeah, I passed. I didn't honestly even think about putting it with Cosmic, but I was like, personally, I'd probably rather 2 Cosmics than one of these right at this point. But they're cool figures.
It's kind of the same thing for me. I'm kind of having to limit myself now to lines based on rooms. I had bought the black and the white Craig. I ended up selling those because I just don't have anywhere to put them. I'm having to rotate things through and put things into storage that I would really like to still keep displayed. So I'm really having to police myself. I'd love to have all those Krigs up together. This one is my favorite one that's come out so far, but unfortunately, you just gotta limit things based on space.
This is a good idea. The Action Force Swarm figure would probably match up pretty well with that.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. Fits in with Cosmic really well. Oh, good point here from Bill. They had to wait for that epic stop motion to be ready, right? Like that. They're every single time they put out one of those teaser videos, I feel like it's better. I'm like, oh my God, that's better than the last one. And every time it's so good. They have some really good videos.
Yeah, that in this one too, there was like so many, I don't know, characters or just other people or whatever, aliens in it. So that I couldn't recognize, if they're using like some other company's figure just as a base or something. So it was kind of neat to see all their customizations in there.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people want those. This is an interesting comment that I've seen a lot. It surprises me that they would put the Krig up for sale with all the licensed figures that are still on pre-order. It does not surprise me at all, actually. Like when I think about the company, like from a collector perspective, this idea makes sense. But when I think about a company and like they slot in all these factory productions, like this to them, this isn't just like, oh, this all of a sudden got made today and we're going to release it. Like this is a long-term plan and they have to like squeeze things in and like, I don't think they're going to just hold back on something because there's stuff lingering on pre-order. And honestly, like, yes, there's a lot of figures that are lingering on pre-order, but it's no more than it's been in years past. Like for the entire length of the line, I feel like there's actually almost fewer. There might be more that are like delayed longer right now that have like a full 2-year delay. But I don't, there might, let's say there's 20 figures right now on pre-order or 15 or something. I don't think like 2 years ago, you would have been surprised to be like, oh, there's 15 figures on pre-order. It's just how it is. These things that, I heard the same thing with Cosmic. People said, I can't believe there's a second wave of Cosmic and the first wave of Cosmic isn't out yet. It's like, how would it be if they just waited for Cosmic to release? So it would be like probably January, February of 2023, Cosmic would release. And then it would be like a year and a half later before the next pre-order from the time you pre-ordered the first wave. So they have to keep things layered and overlapped to keep the factories moving and to keep, productions going. So,
yeah, I've heard the same things about Super 7 since they brought on a lot of Ultimate's new licenses, like Simpsons and G.I. Joe, Silverhawks. Every time they reveal a new wave, everyone's like, well, where's wave 1? I'm like, well, yeah, they showed wave 1 like 3 or 4 months ago. Like they're not out yet. And they're not going to, like you said, they're not going to wait a year to show you wave 2. And especially with that now where you can so easily pre-order it anywhere but Super 7, so you don't have to pay up front. There shouldn't be that worry, If it was a thing, if it was the only way to get it, I kind of get it a little bit, but in the same way, like you said, for this, the second wave of Cosmic wasn't another, 10-figure wave or something, and they're asking you to put in 500 again without seeing one of the figures. It seems pretty simple to me.
So here's an interesting question, but why pre-orders? They should just make a set number and sell day of. So
I guess you were.
I think that's idea.
You weren't around in 2008 and 2009 for MOTU Classics when that started. Yeah, that's just a way to piss off your fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with this is the assumption is they should just make a ton of extras and just sell it day of, because the other option is they try to guess about how much, and then it's like a year later and they made enough for what they guessed at the time. And it's like the audience has grown so much. That
look at the Aether wave.
Yeah. And it's like, and so the problem is, just make a good number, just make enough. The problem is if they make too much, the company is going to suffer because they're going to be sitting on stock. Mezco used to deal with this in the past where they would have so many figures, like just lingering, that they would do like mystery boxes to just like and drop figures for like 2 for $60 just so that they could like unload their inventory to clear space. So they don't want to get stuck. They just,
that's it.
I mean, and I don't blame them. Like they don't want to get stuck with figures. And the mentality of the collector is, oh, I got used to, I was like this with with Mezco for a while. Like I got so used to overstock with Mezco that I wouldn't even buy a regular release unless it was like $60, because I just knew if I bought it for 80,
it would drop eventually.
I would end up seeing it for 60 a month later. And then, so it's a give and take. I think that's why they do the them made
And
to
and
order
and the
pre-orders.
thing is, it doesn't really matter how many years of data you have, because this is a fluid. It's a fluid environment. Not only are collectors always entering the space, they're leaving the space, and for various reasons, other financial obligations, inflation, they have to narrow down their collections. Because, like myself, I'm running out of room. I have plenty of money. I could buy everything I want and not break a sweat. I just don't have anywhere to put it right now. These aren't big companies like Hasbro or something like that, where they can make a bazillion of something and know that they have Target and Walmart and all these other venues that are committed to buying these figures, so they don't have to sit on them. Somebody like Super 7 or Mezco, or these smaller companies, they just can't, or Super 7, they can't afford to do that. So it's very much based on demand. And I really don't know why you would want that anyway, and take the chance on them, guessing a good number and guessing wrong, and then you're SOL if you don't get on there right on time, and you aren't, for whatever reason, not able to get the figure, and then have to pay a huge aftermarket price. Yeah. I would much rather pay the price and wait until it comes out, because we live in the best, for everything that people want to complain about the world today. We have the best healthcare, but we have the best everything. The poorest people in the world right now live better than kings did 500 years ago. And when it comes to collectors, we are living in nerd heaven right now. There's always something coming out. There's always something to add to the collection. I have Masterpiece pre-orders. I have Figure Arts pre-orders. I have, God knows, I have Mezco and Mafex pre-orders out the yin yang. But I mean, look how much crap I picked up this past week. There's always something out there. So I would rather, for premium items like this, yeah, I'll pay for it now. What did I waited a year and a half for Unicron. How long did we wait for the Razor Crest? Yes, great, wonderful, crowdfund, pre-order, whatever you need to do. But this gets the figures into, everyone has a shot at getting the figure.
Yeah.
I do not want to go back to those January, February, March 2009 days where you're on MattyCollector.com battling the white screen of doom, praying that you get in before a good number sells out.
Right.
It's not worth it.
I want to address Chris or Eric right here. They have a minimum that they have to tell the factory. The only issue is the ceiling number. That's the issue. Like, if they just order the bare minimum from the factory, like if the Four Horsemen is big enough where like the factory number, like that minimum, they're gonna hit it every time. And like if they just order the minimum, like that is gonna sell out. Like, and they just drop it and they say, hey, here's our in stock sale. We drop it and it lasts an hour, and then people miss out. Like, yeah, it's
like,
it's
look
not
at
a
the
good
Legion, the Legion builder in stock that was sold out in like a day, and they were like, I mean,
they made a ton of those. A ton.
Yeah.
Hedgehog Action makes a good point. Yeah, if they do make that minimum number and they're impossible to find, he said that about G.I. Joe Classified. Remember what a huge pain in the butt the first few something was classified, up until just these last couple pre-orders, have people not just blown up the boards, losing their minds over things. And we ended up getting them anyway because they made additional runs. But I think the manufacturers are making the smart call. They're protecting their investment, they're protecting their stock, and they're protecting themselves from backlash. Of course, when stuff's on pre-order and it's 37 hours late, there's going to be fan backlash for that. Or if you ordered an 89 Batman, you can join the I complain about my Keaton Batman club. God, get over it. It'll come eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I agree. So Laura actually was saying I wouldn't want them to change, and I don't want them to change either. My two favorite like ways of ordering, actually three in some ways, like Hot Toys is very similar. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, there's a window, like you're gonna be able to order it, and there are options. Obviously, with Mythic Legions, you have to pay more, and with Mezco lately, like the exclusives, it doesn't always pan out, but like there are sometimes other options. But generally speaking, like with pre-orders, you're going to get it. So, one
day,
easy, Laura, easy. Calm down. He's just sharing his opinion.
All opinions are valid.
But yeah, no, I like hearing those takes. Like, it's an interesting because it's very much a collector perspective. It's like, why can't they just drop it? And, it's an interesting thing to think about, and I like talking about that stuff.
And
I hate to say it, but
sorry.
No, you go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, I mean, it's funny though. We are talking about the subject figure, the Krieg Murder Hornets that went up for sale yesterday, and I've seen people already get shipping notices.
Right,
like, this
it's
is
on the Master of the Hunt.
Yeah,
right. It's so funny. That one lasted a bit too. It lasted solid hour, maybe like 2 hours, something like that. So I'd say that's a successful for Mezco. Sometimes they last like 5 minutes, but for this one, it went up. It had ample time. There was a forewarning. There was no lag. I think it was a pretty good drop. But
Laura, you stop it with your toe articulation
than a Batman figure or a Mythic Legions figure.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to start cranking through here. We got a ton of stuff. Oh, check it out. This is the first.
Oh, we got to frame that. Screen cap it.
Yeah, Braku Prime with the super chat. This is our very first super chat. It's telling us great discussion. Thank you, Braku Prime.
Thank you, Braku.
Much appreciated. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we talked about Savage Crucible last time. They just had an excellent interview on the Realm of Collectors podcast. One of their multiple podcasts called Breaking the Mold. That's a YouTube channel, Realm of Collectors. I have a link in the description below. It's like maybe an hour or two. It's a long interview. It's really nice. A lot of good details. A lot of see this image here of like a factory figure posed up. A lot of little things like that. Things that we haven't seen yet are shared in that video. So check out that video. A couple takeaways I had from it. One, it's going to be a Kickstarter. I kind of suspect soonish because we're in the meat of like really good time of year for Kickstarters. Whenever a spring Kickstarter goes off, it seems like it's always successful. It's probably in that same that same situation of like people love buying figures in the spring. People spend a lot of money in the spring. It's tax season. There's no convention exclusives. Like it's a good time to be like spending money on figures because there's money and there's nothing really else dropping in terms of conventions. And then in the fall, it's the opposite. Everyone's broke and all the convention, summer, fall, all the convention exclusives are dropping. I think that plays into action figure Kickstarters at least.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So, and remember the Spawn one that was in the spring, right? That was massive. And then we had like some fall, we had the fall Rancor. That thing fell flat. Obviously it wasn't a great Kickstarter, but it still, I think if that had dropped this spring, it would have been a different story. Anyway, so yeah, it's going to be a Kickstarter. I think it's going to be like May, but we'll see. Production has already begun. So much different from the usual action figure Kickstarter. Rob the owner of the company has put in, he said like $150,000 already into like prototyping and molds and stuff. So this is like the process is already underway.
That's nice.
The steel is being cut. Like they're making the figures. And then the other one is
it cuts down the time waiting for Kickstarters. It's usually forever. So
it's usually 2 years. He says this will be like a year. And it's going to be a different kind of thing. There's going to be like waves. I don't want to like give away too much. I think people should watch the video, but like there's going to be like these waves. Like the first wave will come out like 1 year from now, and like you'll be able to order multiple waves in the Kickstarter, I think, but they'll be kind of staggered out production wise. And then all genres and eras are fair game. He's calling it the Crucible because it's like the Crucible of Worlds, essentially, to bring in a Magic the Gathering term. And it's like everything that's ever been formed out of the world comes out of this. So like you're looking at everything from werewolves and vampires and elves and dwarves and there's like I think I saw like weapons like blunderbusses and like guns and things. So I would expect it to go even beyond like modern, like into future stuff. But yeah, so check out the Breaking the Mold podcast. Pretty cool. speaking of future stuff, we have the next order of. Actually, I got to pull the banner down because I have the names there. So we got the Silverhawks Wave 3, Molecular, Mumbo Jumbo, Hot Wing, and Commander Stargazer are the next wave of Super 7 Ultimates. I'm not collecting these. Are any of you guys getting in on these? This is like some deep cuts.
They are, and I enjoyed the cartoon, and these are really good looking figures. But like I said, I'm really having to streamline. And if I had, a cubic acre to put displays in, I would go after them. But no, not for me. They're really good though. I mean, in that same Thundercats type animation vibe, they're really, really good looking, really true to the source material. And Super 7 just keeps doing what they're doing. They're making figures that are faithful to the source material with a ton of accessories, and I think they're beautiful. And for the Silverhawks fans out there, I'm really happy that they're getting they're having this kind of attention given to their property.
Hedgehog is like, this is when I think of Hedgehog and he did his room tour on the Legions lair.
My wallet shivered.
This is like his this is his wheelhouse, this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. I was gonna get Monstar and maybe like 1 or 2 Silverhawks, but I was probably gonna limit it at that. I remember having the Monstar toy, but
yeah,
I couldn't tell you any of these names if I didn't see them on the bottom right now.
Yeah. I almost went after Monstar, the same thing, but I was afraid it would take me down a rabbit hole. And I'm with collectibles like I am junk food. If I don't eat anything, I don't want any more. But once I have that first bite of pizza, I'm diving off the wagon into the ditch. So keep scrolling.
Chris, that's exactly why I put the names on the bottom, because I would never have. Okay. All right. So we're going to rapid fire through the Hasbro. There was quite a few Star Wars drops from Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them not exclusive. Like, this was actually like a pretty cool little
I have wanted this figure. I've wanted this figure since I got that comic book and years ago. I love that.
Yeah. So we got the Infinities Darth Vader. We've got Princess Leia from the current, not current, but like the modern era Marvel Star Wars Princess Leia title. Sergeant Creel, I believe, is from the modern era stuff.
It is. He is.
And then from the games, we have a commando? But yeah, it's another kind of like clone trooper commando of some sort. And then of course we got Saw. This is really cool.
That's a good looking figure.
Yeah. And like a very core character to that movie, like a good welcome addition.
I really wish we had gotten some more figure art stuff for that movie. That movie was such a good movie and so underserved.
Yep. Okay, and then into the vintage collection, we got some Mandos. So we have a Super Commando Captain, and some people mentioned, this is a Captain, and they teased a Super Commando Basic, like they teased like the pipeline figure of the Super Commando. So, if you're looking to army build, you might not want to just get a bunch of these, because they're gonna have the standard one, which I don't think has horns. I think it's more of just like a red Mando. And then we have an airborne trooper. So that they already did the Death Watch, and then this one I guess has a jetpack, right? And then we have Jesse and Freegrin Dan. And he comes with 3 different instruments, so you can kind of build out a little bit of a band.
I'm hoping we get another release with the missing instruments, and then I'll buy a couple more. But I did what you did, Chris. I went with 3. I think you said you went with 3.
Yeah, just to fill up the instruments.
Exactly.
Yeah. I ordered 1. I'm not gonna really get too much. I don't really have much of a, even though A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie, it tends to not really be a figure focus for me. And then Battlefront 2 Lando, which is funny because when I initially saw this, I was like, oh, cool, Lando from Solo, but they had already done that. And this is it looks very similar. It's just a different pattern on the shirt, and a few little things are different about him. But Battlefront 2 Lando. And then this is a reissue of Shea Vizsla with a new head sculpt, because the old head sculpt looked really weird. But we got Shea Vizsla here from the old expanded universe. They didn't change the card, interestingly, because all the new expanded universe things, they have like
They
just
cite
a
what they're
generic
from.
Star Wars card. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And then we have the next 4-pack. They've been kind of cranking out the 4-packs, and this is the Death Troopers, which is weird because like the Death Troopers, the regular figure all came with the pauldron. It was like the specialist or whatever, and only one of them comes with the pauldron in the pack. But I guess you get kind of the deal, the discount or whatever. But I don't know. I have enough Death Troopers for me, but this is
I have
nice
plenty of those.
Yeah, I had already bought a bunch. Yeah, I don't know if I ordered this. I guess I should review that and decide if I actually need these.
I was gonna maybe order it just to support. I love the 4-packs.
Yeah,
Like, just keep them coming. Like I almost ordered one just to support the line. I think it's awesome. So we'll get into Hot Toys, and we're moving quickly because like we're already like almost an hour in. All right, so Bespin Luke. I'm sure you've seen plenty of YouTubers already talking about this Bespin Luke. This has been a very hot topic of conversation because, I mean, it's essentially a reissue of their original Luke, but
wasn't that their first Star Wars figures?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they teased a reissue. I don't know, Chris, what, 2 years ago, 3?
Yeah, they showed it on in a convention a couple times, but yeah.
Yeah, people have been waiting for this to drop for a while, and we'll kind of flip through some pictures. It's got 2 hair sculptures. Let's see. So there's one hair sculpture, and then like the other sweaty action one, right? I think for me, it's like this angle right here looks really good to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think if it's too much of a low angle, I don't think I have a low angle really. He has like his whole jowl, like jaw kind of comes out too far or something. But people are saying this is the same sculpt as the Mando one.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. So it's kind of more that CG look, but I think it does look great. Yeah, like you're saying, there's certain angles or a couple shots where I'm like, that looks perfect.
Yeah.
I almost want to get that
too
as a companion for my Vader. Cool. Yeah, that's just an awesome sculpt.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the perfect thing for that,
Yep. And yeah, I think that depending on which it has the movable eyes, and depending on which angle the eyes are at, it might affect it. I feel like when he's looking straight, it's a better look.
Yeah.
Comes with a nice base. I think this base is sweet. It's got the what do you call it? Carbon freezing chamber like area. And you got your standard is 285, which is pretty average. I mean, like, it's a lot, but it's what they are lately.
Yeah.
The 2 hair sculptures is kind of neat. I think that's a neat effect to have. And we got another one. Oh boy, Hedgehog. Thanks, man.
Nice.
I don't have a hot toy.
Awesome.
I don't have a hot toy yet. Always figured I'd get one, probably a Vader, but this Luke looks super cool.
Hedgehog, I'm in the same camp as you. I don't collect them. I only have 2. I have a DX12 Dark Knight Batman, and I have Steph got me for Christmas or for my birthday, the recent Empire Strikes Back Vader. And if you want a good hot toy and you're a Star Wars fan, get that Vader, and I promise you'll be happy with it.
Yeah, and the nice thing about if you're considering this Luke for your first one, the nice thing about Hot Toys is it's such a long pre-order window. Like, you have time to let this hype die down and like really think about whether or not you want it. That's the thing. It's like there's plenty of time with Hot Toys.
Yeah, totally. I think it's set for like a third or fourth quarter 2023. So
I appreciate it, Jonathan. Much appreciated, my friend. Okay. So, and then this is the deluxe version that comes with so it kind of like adds a little Dagobah to it, right? Like, so you have the Dagobah base, and then you have, so this comes with two different scenic bases, and then you have the Vader helmet with Luke's face in it from the cave scene. So, so what is that? what's the price difference there? $60, right?
Yeah, for those
$60 difference. I mean, $30 for the head and $30 for the base.
Sounds
Seems
about
all right.
right.
If I buy it, I'm not gonna get the deluxe, I don't think, but I don't think it's a bad deal or anything either.
Yeah, that Vader or the Luke and Vader helmet, that was the sideshow exclusive for the first figure for the DX-07.
Oh, okay. So this is actually a reissue too, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure the paint will be a little nicer, but moreover, it looks pretty much similar. But the Dagobah theme base is new.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I did pre-order because even though I do have the DX-07, I just thought it looked really, really good. Like I don't know, maybe it was late at night and it still does look good, but I was like really blown away when I first saw the pictures on my phone, like in bed. I was like, wow, this looks so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like even though it might be the same sculpt, I wish I had pulled up. I don't have it in front of me, but like I wish I had pulled up the Mando one. The paint is so different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Mando one does feel more CG, like it feels more something like crisp, or I don't know, it feels different. It almost kind of feels younger. I don't know, it's definitely a different paint job, even though it might be
he even looks a little weathered, I guess, in general. Like obviously he's got the messed up hair and everything.
He's got I'm getting my ass kicked by Vader.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris, you need to sign off. We're going to keep going a little bit longer, but I know Chris has to get to a sporting event.
Yes, I have my co-ed kickball game. Sorry, guys.
Nice. So we'll say goodbye to Chris, and you have a great night, my friend.
All right, you too, guys. Thanks.
Take it easy, man.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. So that's Luke. This is the picture at the base. And then I'm not going to get really into Moon Knight too much because I feel like this is old news at this point. But so we got Moon Knight, Hot Toys figure. You're going to see a lot of companies are putting out Moon Knight. I would not be surprised if Mezco puts out a Moon Knight, like a TV Moon Knight, like
I wish they'd re-release the old one because I'm kicking myself for not getting it before it skyrocketed. I've been waffling back and forth on getting that thing for a year, and I really wish I would have.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got this Moon Knight. Light Up Eyes. It's this typical 285, and I guess like it feels high, but it's got a light up feature. I don't know. It just feels high to me. I guess all of it will come down to how awesome the suit is. If the suit's awesome, it'll probably be worth it because it's a lot of detail, all the wrappings and stuff.
Yeah, they put a lot into this. It's a good. Unfortunately, I've not gotten a chance to watch the show yet. I've just been so busy. I really want to see this. It looks good from the previews. And I've been reading the comic a little, and I love the Moon Knight, Mr. Knight deal. So I really can't wait to get into the show. Have you been able to watch any of it yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
My TV watching patterns have changed because of the puppy that we got. It's like we usually watch our shows downstairs, and like he goes to bed upstairs, and we want to be kind of around him close by when he's in bed and stuff. So it's like this weird like pattern that we got to get used to. But that base is cool. I didn't pull up a picture of the base, but it's there. You can kind of see it. It's got the moon.
It's a good looking set. It really is.
Yeah. All right. So continuing with 6 scale, we might lose some people here because this is a deep dive into the Star Trek
EXO-6. These guys are going nuts.
They were at Mission Chicago, Star Trek Mission Chicago, a big convention last weekend, and they just revealed tons of prototypes. Now, some of these are much earlier, like development stages than others. Some of these are going to drop like in the next week or two. So like there's a huge range here, but I think he just wanted to show how dedicated he was to the line, to what he's working on now.
I mean, not just the line, but there seems like there's something from, I don't think I saw anything from Enterprise, the Scott Bakula show, but I mean, it seems like there's something or did I miss that?
Oh, there is.
Oh, okay. I'm overlooked it.
Oh, goodies in the house. We just got a dachshund, a little long hair.
And it's freaking adorable.
surprised the kiddos with a golden doodle. Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
And a crazy ride ever since. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're trying to really focus on training and it's just it's a lot of work. Training is a lot of work. Okay. So Star Trek EXO-6. So I started us, I'm actually going to go through as a timeline in the way that they described how these might release. Now, these dates are all very loose because it projects out to like a year or so. But there's a ton of figures, and I started us off with what's already either released or out for pre-order. So the first figure was Data. Then we had Picard, both of which were from First Contact. Janeway, the Doctor. Those 4 are out. I literally have them on my shelf right there. And then we have Spock, the Mirror Universe, that is actually shipping now. I know people got like shipping notices for that. And Q is in production, and the Chair is also in production. Those 2 are currently, like, the Chair was most recent. Those are on pre-order. Production should be shipping out probably like the summer or whatever. So that's what we have already. And a year ago today, I think we didn't have a single figure in hand yet. Like, I think Data hadn't come out, had been up for pre-order, but hadn't actually released, or maybe was just releasing this time last year. So it's already at full throttle with this line.
Yeah, I can't believe, like, I flipped through that and I was just blown away by how deep they're digging. He's the Trek. I mean, if there are Star Trek, just real true aficionados out there that are collecting, 1/6 scale, that this is the line, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I think this is the line, like, for Star Trek collectors in general. Like, this is the place to be if you're collecting anything Star Trek. Like, it's just incredible what he's doing. And so he said that I didn't put this on the timeline because this is already in production, and this could be dropping anytime. This could drop like next month or something. This is going to be a 2-pack. It's going to be something that hits and just like is like it's just in stock, because when they were working on maybe Janeway, like, it was like last summer, there was like a window where they just had to keep the factory moving. They decided to just start working on another project and sort of like pause it. And then when they have space in between another, gap of time, they'll keep working on it. And so they've been kind of working on this for like a while now, and it's still in production. And when it hits, it's going to hit. So, going back to what Eric was saying earlier, like, the supply may not hold up on this one because the line's been growing since they put the production in, and it's going to drop. It's going to be in stock. If you are into the motion picture, Star Trek, the motion picture, which has a lot of hype right now because there's a new director's edition or director's, I don't think it's director's cut because I don't think the director's still alive, but maybe he is. I'm not sure. But anyway, like, if you're interested in this, pay attention and grab it when it comes out, because this is not going to be a regular pre-order. And then these are supposedly the Q2 pre-orders. I know that they've talked about Cisco and 7 quite a bit as being coming soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of those 2 is like the next pre-order, like soon. And then we have the sort of like the away jacket Picard, like from Darmok episode. So those three are, I think, further along in production. I know that they said that 7 is like it's a special kind of seamless body. It's not something that they're going to be able to like produce a ton of, and so that could be kind of limited. But Cisco should be plenty, should be fine. Cisco's like a total fave of mine. I can't wait.
It looks like a great likeness too. That looked like they really nailed it.
Yeah, it looks decent. I've seen it, like, when you zoom in, it's not quite there in my opinion. And it's also got some paint issues on the prototype, but I think the way they do things and the way they kind of constantly reiterate, even during production, like, they'll make the proper adjustments. And so we have Pike from the Cage episode. We have Riker that's not looking great in my opinion. And I've heard, I think it kind of sounds like Riker's like coming soon. So hopefully they kind of like work on that likeness a bit. And then Tuvok, to me, was one of the best. Like in terms of just like looking exactly like the actor, I think Tuvok looks really good. And this is supposed to be roughly Q3. And then my favorite of the entire show, Quark, one of my favorite characters. I think the clothing looks amazing. The sculpt looks good.
Yeah.
Like that Quark is going to be, that's going to be a killer figure. That's like very high on my want list right there, is that Quark. And they showed Wrath of Khan, uniform of like the three main characters, and the first of the Wrath of Khan series apparently is going to be Bones. And then they also showed the Telosian, which is like all I can
old dip
vein in the head with that guy. This I wish someone would do 1/12 Trek of this quality. Yeah, and Mezco did it didn't succeed. They just didn't have enough purchases, or didn't work out. There was another company that was supposed to be doing them, but that didn't happen either. I'm happy to I collected the Mezco ones and I just shifted over to these because okay. And then this is the other unspecified. They just had like coming 2022. They didn't say any like dates or anything, but just, look at all these. So there's your Archer on the bottom left there.
I missed that. Yep.
We have the Wrath of Khan Spock. We have Khan himself. Nanjin said this Khan, he's very unhappy with the current state of this Khan, and
that boy needs to get to a hairdresser. That's looking rough. Must be really humid in the showroom.
He said that he was so disappointed. He was like so regretful of putting this out that he's like hyper minded on like making the perfect Khan now.
See, that's going to end up being a boon for collectors, because he's so mortified by this that when the final product comes out, it's going to blow everyone away.
Right. Yeah. And then you have the Christopher Lloyd.
Man,
his name right now.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, but that Klingon from the Search for Spock, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Star Trek 3.
And then you have Empress Georgiou. So we have another mirror universe character, which is the Empress Georgiou from Discovery. A couple other Discovery figures with Saru. I think Saru looks awesome. I think the Discovery uniforms look awesome. I think they're gonna just blow people's minds in terms of like 6 scale clothing. And then of course we have Burnham. So that's like the early version of Burnham, like the season 1-2 of Burnham or whatever. Borg Alcove, specifically the Borg Alcove. I think I have another picture of Locutus somewhere. That's a separate product that's going to be modular and you can build it out. And they're working on having the Borg Queen compatible with the Alcove. And then the Q1 2023, we have the Cage Spock and we have Geordi LaForge. Geordi's, he's pretty good. Like the likeness is pretty good, but I don't still think it's not quite there. But another favorite character of mine. I'm a TNG, DS9, like those are my 2 favorites.
Yeah, that Geordi that just doesn't feel right. It needs another pass or 2.
Something with his chin. There's something.
Yeah.
And then there we have our third Wrath of Khan figure. That's Q2 2023. These dates, again, somebody mentioned like that's a crazy amount of product. These dates are all they're all very loose, and I think Nanjin said he's going to put out a timeline. He's going to put out a very specific like pacing and stuff for people to like. He sees it as like, so you notice how you have Wrath of Khan. Like he kind of sees it as that the Wrath of Khan line is running on this track, and you might see it like January, April, March, and then you might see, what are we looking at here? DS9, right? DS9. You might see DS9 running on the next track down, and that's like February, May, July, or whatever the next month is. And it's like there's gonna be these separate lines, and he highly encourages people to like pick your favorite and collect that, because you're probably not going to be able to collect everything. I mean, this entire what's the episode? The menagerie of like Pike in the wheelchair with the whole crew, right? Like that's 4 figures right there that I squeezed into just like
one
shot there. All right, so there's Locutus. This is like the TBD. Like we don't know the dates on these. The Queen. We have Mirror Universe Sulu. We have finally an original series Spock. Like that's the first time they've teased any original series character. Like straight up. Like I know the Mirror Universe and the Cage and whatnot, but like the straight up bridge crew uniforms. And then other diorama things. They have the cardboard backdrop for the chair for the Enterprise E, and you have the arch from like just like the Enterprise D, like next generation holodeck arch, and then you have the motion picture, the captain's chair and the refit Enterprise from the motion picture. So
very cool.
Yeah, let's see what people want. Garrick and Bashir. Hell yes. Love those guys. Voyager is great. I was like not that into Voyager when it was on, but in later years I've grown to really love Voyager. In fact, it's kind of like it's right up there with everything else for me these days. The Doctor looks great. Yeah. But yeah, so that's it. I mean, it's just so much. I'm so excited, and I've been like starting to think about how I can even like manage and like plot what I'm going to collect. My focus will be TNG era, so next gen, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. Like that's going to be my focus. If I can stay complete on that, then I'll sprinkle in some other things. Like I definitely want to sprinkle in some of the other cool things, like the is it Krug, the Klingon from Star Trek 3, like that. Like I want him, the Christopher Lloyd character. I definitely want some original series characters, like just like straight up regular bridge crew. Yeah, this line is so good. Very exciting. Okay. So now we're into the Master of the Hunt. Really, actually, I made a banner. Master of the Hunt. So we got the so Crown Baby. I think I just saw him in the chat. Actually, is he still here? Is David still here? Yeah, David's still here. He posted that he got his movie realization Mandalorian and Grogu. So we have the like Lone Wolf and Cub style set. I have mine on order, but it hasn't shipped yet. I ordered mine from GameStop because they had like a really good deal. Hopefully it doesn't pull a GameStop and not ship. But just a word of warning, he did have an issue with a joint that was frozen. So just kind of be careful with your joints, really test them out. And if you get it, open it up right away and test them out. Because if it breaks, you're going to want to be able to like, get a replacement if need be. So, yeah. And then, whoops, there. That's weird. Oh, I never put the picture in. The other one was going to be the Murder Hornet release. Talk about how like that thing's already shipping and it's already like picked up, and I think people said it's shipping from New York. So, so yeah, the Murder Hornet is already shipping.
That's really quick turnaround.
Yeah, and then the Hot Toys DX-19 Dark Knight Rises Batman.
Oh, we were talking about that this week.
Oh my God.
So good.
I wasn't going to get really. I've been holding off on Hot Toys Batman figures and I've been able to resist. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to do the thing where I kind of wait for my hype level to die down a little bit, but I really want this figure. It looks
I do too.
Good.
Like I was saying earlier, I have that DX-12 from the Dark Knight, but man, oh boy. This thing looks really good.
Yeah. And it's the head sculpt. Like, I don't think I'm not a fan of the round. Do I have a picture of it with it? I don't really have a good shot of it with it, but I'm not a fan of just the general design of the helmet.
The cowl in general. Yeah. This one I would probably display unmasked.
Yeah. And it's so good. And I love the armor. It feels like it has like all the stuff I love about Mezco Batman figures, like a lot of them, like especially the tactical suit from Justice League, like that. It's like cloth, like the armor over it, and panels and stuff, places where it's like spandex, where like the articulation happens. It's not all stuff over it. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun figure to mess around.
That's an awesome figure.
Oh, look at this. Hedgehog's got a shipping notice for his.
There it is.
Yeah. Don't go in on Hot Toys, but that's it. It is. It's just, it looks so good. This will probably end up being my first Batman. I'm gonna play it by ear, and maybe like sometimes you might see like Toys Wonderland will have a coupon, or there might be a blanket coupon on Sideshow for just anything in stock. So I'm gonna like hang back a little bit, but I may get this figure. And I think that's it. There's another picture.
Yeah, that thing just looks so good.
This is a good shot of the armor. Those.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, that does it. Let's check the chat here and see what people are up to. Vetmatic, I think he's talking about this.
I
think. Darth Blaze, what's going on? Congrats, Hedgehog. I think because he got his shipping notice.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I think that'll do it. We went a little bit longer. I've been trying to keep it to an hour, but
there was a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot. And we got into that conversation about like pre-orders versus, in stock drops. And
well, I like it when we can have talks like that and get various opinions, because, obviously we want this to be more than a paint by numbers, here's what's coming show.
Totally. Yeah. But I think that'll pretty much do it. Let me know in the chat if you guys have any more last minute comments before we sign off for the day. And we'll call it a night. Great show as always. Thanks, Braku Prime. Thanks, Grail. Appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for the super chats.
Yeah, that was awesome, guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Those were the first ones we've ever had. So, and it helps. Like I dropped a lot of money on gear in the past couple months. So that kind of helps offset some of it. I appreciate it. Thanks, Hedgehog. All right, everybody. We're going to call it a night. And until next time, may the force be with you.